What's going on, everyone? My name is Cameron Harn, and welcome to today's beginner kettlebell workout. I've got a 20-minute AMRAP plan for you all with 5 of my favorite beginner kettlebell exercises. To begin, we'll go through a warm-up protocol that'll get your body primed and ready for action. Then I'll take you through each exercise in the AMRAP and touch on some key points that I like to focus on with my clients. Then we got a little core, some carry, and a cool down. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. First thing that we're going to do is some neck stretches. I want you to interlace your fingers behind your back, pull your hands down to the floor, and we're just going to nod the head, making sure that the shoulders are pulled down away from the ears. We're going to do this for 5 to 10 repetitions here. Make sure you breathe. Let those shoulders drop down. Get a good stretch of the neck. Then we're going to change directions. We're going to turn our head from left to right, performing 10 repetitions in each direction. Making sure that the shoulders are still pulled down away from the ears. Get a good stretch through that neck. Then bring your head back to center. We're going to do a little tilt. We'll tilt ear to shoulder, performing 10 in each direction. Making sure you get a nice good stretch to the side of your neck. And keep pulling those shoulders down away from the ears. So after we perform 10 of those, we'll go into elbow circles, taking the hands out nice and wide. We're going to bring our hands to our face, get them out nice and broad, then bring them back in. And we're doing 10 repetitions one way, then we'll change directions. Looking good. Keep it up. Excellent. So then let's go ahead and switch directions, going the other way. And we want to make sure we bring those hands out nice and wide. Big, big circles, palms face down as they move away from our body, then they rotate back up. Excellent. From here, we're going to interlace our fingers. We're doing wrist circles. Hands are clasped together, and we're going one direction, 10 repetitions. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's change directions here. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. From there, I want you to open up your palm and loosen up those fingers. We're going to do the same thing, going one direction. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then change directions. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. We're mobilizing the wrist here. 3, 2, 1. Good. Now, maintaining that same position, we're just going to clasp the hands together. We're doing halos. So we can do halos with or without a kettlebell. Right now, we're going to do it without a kettlebell, making sure that our elbows go up as we reach our hand behind our neck, and then they come right down. We'll go 10 one direction, and then we'll switch. So you can see from the side view, we're going here, bring those elbows up, and then down so we can get a good stretch of the triceps and the lats. Let's go ahead and switch directions. We'll do 10 more. Got 9, 8, 7. You might be feeling your shoulders here. We're getting them nice and loose. Let's go 3 more. 3, 2, and 1. Nice. We'll go ahead and shake it out from there. Let's go ahead and get into a kneeling position. I'm going to go half kneeling. We'll do the hip flexor stretch. What I like to do in this hip flexor stretch is make sure that I've got my glute braced, my abs tight. So we're going to brace that core as we glide the hip forward into this hip flexor stretch. Now what you can also do from here is raise your hands. When we bring our hands up, it creates a little bit more rotation through the pelvis, so we get a greater stretch through that hip flexor. We'll go for 10 repetitions on one side, and then we'll go ahead and switch, making sure that we maintain tension through our glutes and our abs. Let's go and do 2 more here. And last one. Boom. Go ahead and switch legs. Bracing the core, squeezing the glutes. Optional hand drive here. 9. Going 8 more. Feel that stretch come through the hip. Awesome. Keep it up. We got 5 more to go. 2. 1 more. All right. Excellent job. From here, we're going into a quadruped position. We're going to do the cat dog, cat camel, cat cow, feline plus whatever animal you want. We're going to round the back and then arch the back. Pushing the hands into the floor and then coming up into that neutral position. We'll go 10 repetitions here. There we go. Trying to make sure that we mobilize our spine and get it prepared for the workout. Let's do a couple more here. Last one. From there, we're going to extend our feet back. We're doing a little downward dog, pushing the hips up, heels down, and we're going to create a bit of a pumping mechanism here. So we're going to push our hands back and reach our hips up to the ceiling as we push our heels down to the floor. Then I want you to transition forward. Bringing the hips forward, legs nice and flat on the floor, squeeze the glutes. We're going to look to the left, look to the right. Now as I look, my hips should rotate here as I squeeze my glutes too. So we're going to get a nice little stretch of that hip. Then, after we do this, we're going to bring the hips up again and pump. Pushing back, getting the hips up towards the ceiling, rocking the heels down. We want to do a few pumps, then bring the body forward into that Cobra stretch. Make sure you squeeze the glutes here. Rotate as you squeeze the glutes. Get those hips to turn. Good. We're going to do one more. In this sequence, we want to do 3 to 5 reps of each. This would be really good for the hips as well as the back. Get those abs to stretch out. Excellent job. Now this is a quick transition. We're going to do the frog stretch. Get the knees out to the side. Lay the insides of your feet on the floor. We're going to drop down to the elbows, and we're just going to rock back. You want to get a good stretch through the inner thighs. So there's some gentle breathing here. You can set your gaze ahead. We're just rocking forward and back for 10 repetitions. We want to get those hips nice and mobile so we can prepare to deadlift and have a strong workout. All right, one more. Perfect. Let's go ahead and come on up. All right, shake it out, fast and loose. We want our body nice and relaxed. Get ready for this workout here. So, the first exercise in our AMRAP is the kettlebell deadlift. The deadlift is the foundation for the kettlebell swing. If we don't have a good deadlift, then our swing is going to suffer. So we want to make sure when we're doing this beginner kettlebell workout that our deadlift is rock solid. Some key things that I want you all to focus on here. We're going to stand over the bell with the horns in line with our ankle bones, okay? The insides of your feet are going to be in line with the outsides of your shoulders. From here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of air in through my nose and then breathe it into my belly, okay? So I want to get my diaphragm activated. I want to get this core musculature fired up because it's going to create a lot of support in my lower back. So inhale through the nose. We're going to brace the core. So you want to imagine sucking your belly button into your back, okay? So again, we're going to set ourselves over the bell. Take a little bit of air in. Brace that core. We call it breathing behind the shield. I can keep this core braced like I'm getting prepared to get punched in the stomach and still maintain this tension. I can have a conversation with you and maintain that tension in my midsection. From here, nice long arms. We're going to hinge the hips back, hook the handle of the bell. I'm going to pull my shoulders away from the ears. We want to think anti-shrug. I'm going to try to break the handle of the kettlebell. I still have my core engaged. From here, we're going to sniff a little bit more air in. We're standing up. Nice strong plank. I want to keep my core tight. We have like a second crunch at the top of this deadlift. my glutes are tight. From there, I'm gonna hinge my hips back, using my lats to direct the bell just a little bit behind towards my heels. Then, I'm coming up again. Hinge, use those lats to drive the bell behind. If you want to see from the side view, it's going to look like this. Pushing the bell a little bit towards my heels, making sure that my shoulders stay higher than my hip stays higher than my knee. Then, coming up, squeezing the glutes, hinging back. We're going to hit 5 repetitions of those in our AMRAP. Once we've hit 5 of those, then we're going to go into the single leg RDL. With this one, I want to firmly place my foot in the ground. You can imagine lifting up all 5 toes, then pianoing the toes into the floor. That way I'm rooted into the ground. I have a nice stable base. From here, we can breathe some air in, brace the core, grab the handle of the bell, come up. Then we're going to go here. Lifting the back heel up. Trying to make sure we maintain balance. We're gripping the floor with our feet. We're lifting that back heel, and we're keeping our core braced. We're going to go for 8 repetitions on each side. So we've got the deadlift into the single leg RDL. The next exercise is the corkscrew row. I love this exercise for teaching the clean, and it's going to help us with that spiral motion. I'll show you right now. We've got the bell parked towards one side. Then we're going to do the same thing like we did in the deadlift. Take a little bit of air in, brace that core, hinge the hips back. What I want to do, I want to grab that bell with one hand, come up a little bit so it's hovering just over the ground. From here, you're going to pull and twist. I still have tension through my core as I row the bell. Now for some additional lat engagement, what you can do is pull that bell back till it makes contact with your thigh and continue the same motion. Because we're pulling the arm back with our lat, we're swimming it back. We get more engagement through that lat, we get more support coming into the glutes. We'll go 8 repetitions on each side from there. Okay, next, we're going into my favorite, the overhead press. We'll line ourselves up over the bell, just as we do for the deadlift and the row. This time, we're going to cheat clean the bell into the rack. You're going to grab the bell with one hand, get a deep, deep grip. The other hand is going to cup the bell, or cup your hand. Then we're going to hike the bell between our legs, bringing the bell into the rack. 3 things that I want you to focus on when the bell's in the rack here. Tension through the core. As I press, I'm going to press with these 2 fingers here. Okay, so my pinky and my ring finger. That's going to get some additional tricep recruitment. Then I'm going to shift a little bit towards the side that I'm pressing. When I bring the bell down, we're going to go slow. Okay, core tight, press, shift. Making sure that we squeeze with the pinky and the ring finger as we go overhead. When you're done, place the other hand on top, bring it back down. We'll go 5 repetitions on each side there. The last exercise in this AMRAP is the beast crawl. We're going to get into a quadruped position here. Bracing your core, I'm going to lift my feet up off the floor, let them hover just an inch above the ground. Then, while moving the opposite arm and opposite leg, we're going to crawl forward. Now what I want you to do is focus on going as slow as you possibly can. Keeping that tension through your core, where it's going nice and easy. This doesn't seem like much, but it's a killer especially when you go super slow. We'll go forward for about 15 paces, and then we'll go backward for 15 paces. Once that's done, you come on up, shake it out, rest as needed. We start back again with the deadlift, okay? 20 minutes, as many rounds as possible through all 5 of those exercises. Then, once we're done, we're gonna carry, and we're gonna do some core. So, you can grab your bell. We're doing suitcase carries. I love this exercise for its use of activating the glutes and working the core. We're gonna get nice tall posture, take some air in, brace the core. We're just walking. We'll go for about 25 yards. Then we'll walk back. Another 25 yards before we switch hands. If you need to switch hands a little earlier, feel free to do so. So we got that suitcase carry. The next thing that we're gonna do, my favorite, hardstyle planks. If you've never done hardstyle planks before, these things will humble you. Most of the time, we do planks for 30 seconds, a minute. We're not gonna do that today. We're going 10 seconds. Check this out. I'm gonna get into a quadruped position, making sure that my hands stay parallel. We're not gonna internally rotate. We spend too much of our lives internally rotated and protracted. We're gonna go bam, outside, parallel. From here, you're gonna sip some air in through your nose. Pressurize that midsection. Draw the belly button into the spine. Then, set one leg. Take a little bit more air in. Set the other leg. Cramp the glutes, squeeze the quads, brace the abs, and pull the elbows to the toes. We're gonna concentrate as much as you can on tensing up those muscles for 10 seconds. Then, relax, rest for 5 seconds, and repeat. Take some air in, brace that core, set one foot, set the other foot, cramp the glutes, squeeze the quads, pull the elbows to the toes. Hold it for 10, then rest. We've got 4 of those to make up one set. 10 seconds on, 5 seconds off. Once you're done with that, we go back to the suitcase carry. I've got 3 rounds of those. Then, to wrap this all up, our cool down. This is probably the best part. We're gonna go ahead, lie on our backs, knees bent. I want you to go ahead, place one hand on your chest, one hand on your stomach. We're going supine belly breathing. We're just gonna close our eyes and take some deep breaths. In through our nose, out our mouth. Trying to make sure that the bottom hand is rising and falling and not the top hand. Try to make these breaths long and drawn in. We're gonna do this for about 3 to 5 minutes, and then you can come on up, pat yourselves on the back because you killed that beginner 20-minute workout. Fantastic job, everybody. I hope you enjoyed today's workout. If you did, please like and subscribe. Let me know what you thought in the comments, and look out for the next kettlebell workout.